Hi. So I'll just give everybody a few minutes. Hi, it's Claire, your intuitive reader. I'm here to hang out with you guys. So whoever shows up, we'll hang out. And if no one shows up, hey, I'll just have a little fun with the cards. Hang out with Roxy. Where are you, Roxy? There you are. And yeah, so let's see. I'm going to see what the word of the day is going to be. This is something I just started. I'm kind of ripping it off of a show, but I love words. So let's see. Okay, let's see what, oh, we got 3. Let's see. Oh, patience is a virtue, creation. This is very interesting because it does take patience to create. Like creation takes a while. Like whether you're having a baby, which, takes 9 months, other animals, it can take even longer. And, or if it's about creating art, creating yourself, it takes time. You have to be patient with yourself. You have to be patient, and that is virtue. So I'm going to put those cards here so that if we say patience, creation, or virtue at any time, then we can scream or have a little bell ringing. So let us see. Okay. Hello. If you're just stopping by to say hi, if you don't know who I am, I'm Claire, the intuitive reader, and I like to tell stories with cards and just about life. So the Hierophant is showing up as the main energy, and this is about working on something. It's like, to me, I see this card as becoming an authority in your field, whatever it is. I mean, if you're really good with canning things or gardening or just being a nice person, all those things have a integral part in our society. And I think people aren't realizing how important that is. Oh, and then this popped out reverse, this 8 of Cups, because we're seeing that our energy, everything we're putting into things, is kind of just like flowing right out. Like as soon as we try to put it in, it's not staying in the cups. It's kind of feeling like we're giving to people and it's draining us. So this is a time of really focusing on yourself, as far as like not being selfish, but taking an inventory of who we are. And that goes back to creation, patience, and that being a virtue. Because you guys are showing up as the Page of Wands. And the Page of Wands is a new spark. Following that light. It's like brand new, fresh, like, oh, there's a little bit of a storm going on. Hi, Mike T. So this is like that new spark. It's like, wow. And it could have been a spark that's been there forever, but the page energy is talking about that it's new, like you're rediscovering it. So, because, yeah, I mean, what I see here, and our cards fell down. Hi. So, and then temperance. Yeah, this is a time of temperance. As we go through deaths and rebirths, we have to really balance our energy at every moment. Like we can get overwhelmed by the feelings of everything that is ending and everything that is beginning. And that can be very scary. So if we use that temperance energy, flowing, really seeing it as a wonder, observe, like when you're feeling scared or something's happening, if you stop for a second and then just observe, like, don't attach any feelings to it. Don't, go into why or even try to process. Just observe. It really does help. It keeps your focus. It gets your focus back on what you want to do versus what you want to create versus all the distractions that are going on. So let's see. Okay, that's some good energy. Let's see if there's some other messages that want to come out. It is super nice to see you guys. It is yesterday when I went live. Hi. Yesterday when I went live, I was like, oh man, I could feel a storm. It was sunny outside. There were beautiful clouds. It was so picturesque, but I could feel it. It was building. And then today the rain has started. So sometimes we feel things way ahead of time. So if we focus on that feeling, it might be our instincts telling us something's going to happen in a month or a year. And we're then get consumed with, oh my gosh, I'm having a feeling of anxiety that something's going to happen. You know, feel that, but then let that go, because we don't know when that's going to come. I mean, that's part of the reason I don't give people very specific things, because they don't have the understanding of the context of what's coming. So it'll feel scary. It'll feel like, how could that happen? And so that's the journey of realizing that we have to learn things along the way in order to actually go through the moments that make us, that like you want to meet your perfect person, but you have to go through all these things. You may have to go through, you know, a whole bunch of turbulence. And then you're like, why is this happening to me? That was my person. And they weren't. It was actually, they were the lesson that you needed to learn to become the person so that you could manifest in what you really wanted. Like, we ask for things, we pray for things, but we don't think about what we have to do to get there. We don't go like, oh my gosh, like it should just come to us, but it can't, because we are not the right person for what we're asking for. So be careful what you ask for, because if you want like super independence, you're going to start noticing that you don't have anyone in your life, because in order to be super independent, you can't really have people constricting you, because that's the opposite of what you're asking for. If you want a certain kind of lifestyle and the people in your life are not, you know, they're going against that, they have their own focus, and it's contrary to what you want, then it's going to have there's going to be a problem. We can't live in two realities at once. So if the people in our lives are not in the same energy as us, they can't be there. And that's not because there's something wrong with them. It's literally because if you're on a path and a person's on another path, you just can't be on the same path. Quickly and some, yes, freezing and indecision. But you know what? That's, you know, it's better to actually stop if you realize you're going down the wrong path, like things are not going well. Actually, just stop. Just stop. Don't go that way. Whether it's in communication with someone, if it's going the wrong direction, if you're going, you know, if it says dead end, you're going around, walking around, and you see dead end signs, or don't go this way, or restricted. It's like those are the markers in your life that we're not listening to. It is okay. You're not freezing. You're pausing, observing, and then making the best decision from that point on. Like, every moment is the ability to make a new decision. It's to make a different choice. And we've been told to keep going, come on, move it. You're lazy, or you're, you know, procrastinating, when in fact we don't spend enough time pausing, critically thinking, observing, and then moving forward. Thank you so much. Yeah, and that's the thing. You have to decide how long you're going to take to make a decision. If you give yourself kind of like, okay, I'm going to stop, pause, sit with this, journal, or, you know, do a pros and cons list, or just even look around and see if it's working for you, and then make a decision. But the pause should just be temporary. You know, like if you're like, think about this, if you're taking care of an animal, you can't pause to think about every decision, whether you're going to go this way or that, or you're going to, you know, do whatever. You just have to do it. So you have to make the best decision, but you do have to make a decision. And that's very difficult. It is. But what I see here is divine masculine, talisman, and lucky. So I think we need to realize that it's great to create. It's great to think about things, but we have both feminine and masculine energy. And so when we create, we have to then use the masculine energy, our divine masculine energy, to actually do it. So like, ideas are wonderful, knowing is great, But if we don't take action at a certain point, we are actually becoming very passive. And I know most people don't want to be passive. So it's just like, you know, understand what the decision you're making, take ownership of it. Like if you're in a situation like in your family and you are like, I don't want to be here, but you are choosing to be there. So you have to decide at that moment, I am actually choosing to stay here. I am choosing to put up with the situation. I am choosing to do this and that. And that taking ownership of it, that you are actually making a decision, is very powerful because people don't realize their inaction is a decision. So just own it. Yep, it's a decision. So, okay. Thank you, Mike T. Thank you, guys. Yeah, because I think we don't pause long enough to really reflect on what we want and our observations. And so we look around because I have this little thing I got. It says, my life is a mirror. And I think people don't take this literally enough because we don't observe ourselves. We often get stuck in a time period like that's really what regression is, or getting stuck at a certain age. But what you don't realize is if you're around people that are stuck at a certain age, they won't just act that way. They will see you as that. So if you're with somebody for a long time, even a parent, like if a parent has an issue where they haven't grown up, they see themselves as that age. So even if you're their child, they will see you growing up and you will actually become to them the adult, not because, they just don't acknowledge that you getting older is a reality, like because they stay the same age. And if you're in a partnership, I think that's the reason a lot of marriages, people get together when they're younger, but that person doesn't grow. And so when they're looking at their spouse on the outside, they're like, wow, I'm with somebody who's old. And you're like, no, actually, you're the same age, but you're not acknowledging that. You're not looking in the mirror and facing that you are actually a certain age or a certain place in your life. And so the people outside of you, you're seeing them and you're like, this doesn't make any sense to me. It makes no sense. How is it that person I'm with is, looks like my mom or my sister or my father or whatever? It's because if you're thinking that, it's a disconnect from your current energy, who you really are at that moment. So I think it's pretty dangerous for people to ignore their own identity. Like we need to spend more time getting to know ourselves, know thyself, and you'll know everyone else because you're acknowledging facts. You're acknowledging I am this. I mean, like I don't try to pretend I'm a super young person. I mean, if people say that I look young, great, but I look young, but I know how old I am. And that's one of those things. If you don't really accept, if you can't look yourself in the mirror, if you can't face your life, you're going to externalize that onto everyone else. And I see the people that come in here, I see the people that reach out and want guidance. They're like, okay, I see something's wrong around me. I'm acknowledging who I am. And the closer I get to really knowing who I am and facing that dark and light, the people around me get very upset. And it's because they are not dealing with reality and you are. And that's a huge strength, because you can't be on the same path as someone who is living in the past. So you will become their manifestation. They can't see you. It's just impossible. That's why our perspective is so important. That's why it's so important that the people around us resonate with us, because they will actually change their entire world depending on where they are. Okay, let's see. So, yeah, sorry, it's very heavy energy. I think when a storm comes in, I'm an air sign, and every time there's a storm, it's like, I was sitting up here getting ready for a reading one day, and everything just started vibrating. Like the plants were moving up here, and I felt like this vibration. And then I was like, did anybody else feel that? And they're like, no. And I was like, oh. And then I looked, and there had been a lot of earthquakes. And so I think when you tap in, you start realizing and feeling things that are much bigger than us. And it's not that it's impossible for everyone can do it. It's kind of like training your senses. If you were out in the wilderness and you were hunting, or you would have to heighten your senses. And that's kind of how it is. It's like, okay, picking up on different smells, picking up on different feelings. So, okay, I talked and talked, and now people are like, oh my gosh. Would anybody like me to draw a few cards? Here, I'm just going to go over what we're talking about today. Our energies are coming up as creation, patience, and virtue. And my life is a mirror. There's a lot of sacral energy here to the solar plexus. That's about really feeling who we are. Those are our instincts. Those are our gut feelings. That's like our drive, our fire, our furnace, that creates the solar plexus, the yellow energy. So you have to have that fire. If you're not connected with your own fire, it's kind of like having a car that has no combustion. You just can't go anywhere. So you can't create without really tapping into your sacral energy. And it's not just, sexual energy. It is the drive. It is our fire. You're a Scorpio? Oh, so like that water. Yeah. Scorpios, I have a moon in Scorpio. And yes, there's this I know it's a water sign, but I've always felt this connection with fire with Scorpio. Okay, so I am going, Mike T. Let's see. Mike T, would you like me to read your energy? Let's see what your story is. Okay, I'm going to see what I get here. Oh, nice. Emperor. I was just talking about, so this is a lot of root energy. This is very strong, very stable. Like the Emperor is like the most stable. It's number 4, which is already that 4 corners, the 4 pillars. It's that really strong energy. It can also mean stubbornness because it's unmovable. So let's see what else you get. Different card. Okay, so the 10 of Swords, Temperance, and we got that earlier, and the 2 of Cups. So like I was talking about, the Emperor can be very, very solid, but very unmovable. And so that's going to be to your detriment, because sometimes if people are trying to communicate with you, you can be like so sure of yourself. So like, nope, I'm right, that you might be missing some connections. So making sure that you're really, like we were talking about, like the feminine and the masculine energy, not getting too stuck in your rigidity and you're like, nope, I'm moving in this direction, and being open to other people's ideas. They're not actually trying to hurt you. They're actually trying to connect with you. And that feeling of being stubborn, of, it's solid, it's great, but it can be a little too solid, a little too structured. So having that balanced energy. See, feminine energy is just creation. It's just about being open to something, like a receptacle. The feminine is the receiver, and the masculine is the doer. So you need both. In order to create something, you actually need both. You need to be able to create it, be open to new ideas, new ways of doing things, and then you need to act on that with the masculine. And this is going to, we have 2 very balanced energies here, like the 2 of Cups, masculine and feminine, and the temperance card, masculine and feminine. So this is really telling you both emotionally and in the way you deal with information and in your 3D world, using those two energies will really bring you forward. It's probably that little teeny thing you're like, wow, I'm successful in a lot of ways. I'm structured. I have all this, solid foundation, but something, it's just not manifesting the way I want. So it's saying be open, don't take criticism or, you know, take it for the message, not for the way it's delivered. Sometimes people give the most amazing messages, but their delivery just sucks. Their delivery is just horrible. But if you look for the essence, like really what they're trying to go for, their intention is where the golden nugget is, and it's going to be really balanced. Just be open. I mean, and that's really hard to do because we all get hurt, but we can't actually create unless we keep ourselves open. Hi, I'm doing good. I'm a little tired, but I'm doing good. Oh, hi, Speak So Well. So let's see, is Toronto here still? You're welcome, Mike. I'm glad you could be here. I really like coming on here. It's no matter what else is going on, it's nice to be around you guys. Hi, Cristobal. Okay, Toronto. Let's see what your cards say. Are you actually from Toronto? I've been to, this is the only place I've been in Canada. I have family who, came and lived in the other part of Canada, British Columbia. But I've never been there, and I've only been to Toronto. Okay, let's see. This is great energy. Okay, Toronto. You have King of Wands and the Fool. I love this because the King of Wands is a very dynamic, fiery individual. They take the world. I mean, you've got the wings on the helmet, like it reminds me of the Flash. And it's bringing in, it's on the steed. They're going quickly. It's like they're tackling the world by, like straightforward, going for it. I mean, and they're the King of Wands. So they have a mastery of that. It's not just like crazy, like I'm just doing whatever. That would be more like, maybe Page of Wands. And then you have the Fool card. So you're going through that. You have the balanced energy of the passion of focusing it, and with the Fool card. So you're ready to take on a new adventure, a new way of doing things. And, some people might actually call you a fool if you go in the direction that your fire is telling you to go. But you have a very solid foundation. So you're like, no, this is going to work. This is my fire, and I'm going to go for it. And that energy, you may be alone. Look, it's a 0. Sometimes we have to be alone to create because people will naysay, and it's hard. It can snuff out your fire. I mean, when you're already questioning yourself and like, oh, am I doing the right thing? Am I, should I do something different? One person can make a big difference in kind of like it's just a little flame right here, but it's your flame, but it looks like a match. And sometimes the people around us, if they're blowing a lot of ideas or casting shade, reducing the oxygen, it can snuff out our ideas. So sometimes we need to be alone in order to create. And that's okay. That can feel a little intense at the time, but think about how much you can create when you're by yourself. I mean, relationships are wonderful, but they take a lot of your energy. That's just a reality. I mean, I love being a mother, but it does take a lot of my energy. So it has to be a decision you want. So each relationship in your life should be, helping stoke that flame. And if it puts it out or tries to put it out, then it's not on your path. And you know that, you can see that. You're going through a transformation process here with the butterfly. And you have that crystal in your hand. I mean, oh, hey, this is a perfect time. So I got this. It's this huge, it fits perfectly in my hand. It's amazing. But it's kind of like looking at the crystal. And, there's that thing about the iceberg and you can only see the surface. Well, you're looking at yourself like this when you're around people because you only have that little light, right? So that's all you can see. But underneath is all of this. And that's actually where the power comes from. And so when you're focused on keeping that little flame safe and having it grow, you can't see that there's more. So when you let it burn and grow, then you can see that the entire thing's here, the entire who you are. It didn't just start with what you can see. That's just such the tip of the iceberg. So I really want you to, focus on that, but you shouldn't have to focus this hard. And if you do around people, then you need to get away from them. So, okay, let's see. Oh, hey, and I'm going to get, I'll get you guys this word. Toronto, yours is purpose, and this is in your root. This is red is the root chakra, and that's like the base of who you are, what you started with. It's the base core of who you are. So going back to your purpose is really important. So, if you think about that word today, it might help you to remember. You might just say every time you feel like you're having to try a little too hard, what's my purpose? What's my purpose? And then focus on that, or just repeat purpose in your head. And I didn't for Mike, your word is truth. And so making sure that, yes, you're open to the truth. We were talking about how all those swords, which are information, thoughts, and not feelings, are coming in. So accepting the truth, it will really set you free. Okay. Let's see who's next. You're joining from Texas. Hi from Texas. So let's see, is Radhika, would you like me to read your cards? Oh, it's your first time joining? Hi. Well, I'm not doing a list today. I'm just kind of like hanging out with you guys. The list gets so confusing because not everyone shows up, and then I have to keep track of it. So we'll kind of do it in an honor system. The people that came in before, if you guys can kind of keep track, maybe talk to each other. So Radhika, I don't know if you're still here, but what I got from your cards, let's see what else. Okay. Ooh, okay, there's something going on with you. Wow, we got the Emperor again. So the Seven of Swords, and see, this has something to do with your shadow. I thought it had to do with somebody else, but something in your shadow is you're doing something in your life that is kind of going against your nature. Let's see what else, because you also got the Devil here and the Five of Wands and the Emperor. So some truth, you're not accepting a truth that's going on in your life. It's right there. It's something that you can only uncover, that you're the only one who knows this truth. But you're kind of deceiving yourself because it's scary. It's scary to actually look at this truth for what it is. Because if you accept this truth, then you can't continue about your daily life. I think with the, there's going to be a full solar eclipse on the 29th. And I feel a lot of energy coming because it's been almost a year since the last solar eclipse that was like a really big deal, which was, I think it was April 8th of last year. And in this time, we are going through a transformation. When that eclipse happens, everything will go dark for a little while, and then the shadow will start showing. And so we're going to be faced with our shadows. So it's really important that we just take that on. It's just like, at this point, causing conflict within ourselves to not deal with it isn't going to make it not happen. It's kind of like with the eclipse. It's going to happen whether you want it or not. I don't know why you wouldn't want an eclipse, but it's just something that happens. It's like any cycle. So let's see. I want to see what your word is, or I'm actually going to get you a Concealment. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. We were just talking about an eclipse. An eclipse is concealing. It's blocking the sun. It's blocking the light. So when we come out of this solar, we just had a lunar eclipse, solar eclipse, it's going to show something. When we go through massive changes in our gravitational fields, with the earth and how it's moving with the sun, it's a big deal. Our sun is like the nucleus of our world. It's where our power comes from. So if we can't see that even for a second, even for a minute, it changes the way everything feels. And so things that have been concealed are going to come to light, and we can either face that or continue to hide from that. And yeah, it's not easy to face it, but once you do, once you clear out the cobwebs of like what you're holding on to keep yourself safe, you realize that you didn't need to hide ever. That your shadow, this shadow that looks scary, is actually just part of you, and it's actually part of your fuel. Without our shadow, we would just be very docile. We wouldn't get anything done. So we have to embrace our shadow, work with it. And like I watched just an old Star Trek episode, like the original one, and Captain Kirk, I mean, it was way overdone because it was kind of ridiculous, but he was split into two. And one just had no drive. He couldn't be Captain Kirk because it was the shadow. It was that ego that he used to fuel his ability to be a leader. And so we hide from our ego and our shadow. We say, kill it. And we should never kill something that's so vital. It's our power source, but we should be not afraid of it. We should befriend it. If we stopped being afraid of ourselves, it's amazing how much we'd get done. Okay. So let's see. Who asked first? LC? Okay, LC. Yes, I will read your energy. Okay. I'm going to use the Light Seers deck. Enemy thin. Yes, exactly. And see, we even see the shadow as the enemy within us. Like our worst enemy is ourselves. And if we see it instead as like, okay, yes, it's capable of doing awful things, but it's also capable of doing amazing things. And it just needs to be focused. So LC, the first one you got is the 10 of Cups. This is beautiful. Like, I love seeing this energy. This is balance and energy of emotional energy. This is the happily ever after. This is like the rainbow, you know. But one thing I don't think people realize is like, they're like, oh, awesome, 10 of Cups, it's going to be so great. How do you get a rainbow? You have to have some kind of massive amount of water, rain. The only way there's a rainbow, the only way the light, hits the water molecules is if there is rain, if there is emotion. So once we let the emotions, they don't take us over, but we feel that they are. But instead, riding the wave of the emotion, see this beautiful wave, it will lead to happiness, but we have to embrace all that is unpleasant within ourselves, all that is messy, all that is what people don't want to see. Don't be ashamed of that. That's human. That's real. That's actually what people crave. They're tired of the formulaic of not making connections. It feels hollow. It's fast food. Okay, so 10 of Cups, beautiful card. I love it. Like, it's like so cool. It's like they're on a hammock, but they're also on a magic carpet. And that's what feeling your feelings can feel like. Everybody has gotten so afraid of their feelings, but that also means you are not feeling love. You're not feeling passion. That first time that you meet somebody that you really like, and you're like, oh my gosh, and just seeing them fills you with happiness. Like, think about being a kid and you go to school and there's always that person and you're like, oh my gosh, and you just go off into a dream world. Like, if we don't feel all our emotions, we don't ever get to feel that again. It didn't go away because you grew up. What happened is you stopped wanting to feel any of your emotions. They're too messy. I'm too angry. I've got to control myself. And yes, you can't go around screaming at people, but acknowledge your feelings. You don't have to express them to actually feel them. And so 3 of Cups, I love this. I was talking about a wave, right? So you're making that decision. You're going, the 3 of Wands is all about making a decision and going for it. So you're seeing this wave is possible, and you're taking the chance to get out there and just experiencing it. I've never been surfing. I actually was born in Santa Barbara, and the surfing was constant. And I live on an island, so there's people who are surfing. It has always honestly scared me. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. But I understand the draw to do that, because you're actually out of control in that moment, but you're just embracing that feeling of being out of control. And everybody has their different ways of doing it, but that experience, love, connection, working with animals, it doesn't matter what it is, but really, just getting out there and experiencing it, submerging yourself in the experience. If you have you have a question, what is it? Okay. And then you've got the Hierophant, and we've gotten the Hierophant a few times actually, and the 6 of Cups. And this is what I was talking about. I was talking about being a kid. Like, see, right here, you're following the cups. Like, this is how I started. And oh my gosh, I will tell you guys a story about something that looked just like this, except it wasn't a dog on this side. It was a father and a son at the park. But anyway, so follow your rainbow, and you're going to, you have a direct connection to the divine when you believe that. We felt that as children, and so we've gotten afraid of it. We're like, we have to play adult. Look at yourself in the mirror. You are an adult. Just accept that. Denying it isn't going to help. And if you accept that, you can embrace it. You can still have fun. You can still feel the same kind of feelings. You don't have to match some preconceived notion of being this. You can still be this. Look, they are just as good of friends. They share just as much of a bond, if not stronger. Getting older, going up the staircase of life to this final beautiful light is a journey. Like, this is all about a path. Like, your cards are all about going on a journey, and it's really beautiful. I don't know. I will think about your question. Oh, that's great. Okay, cool. Okay, who was next? I don't remember who was next. Hey, Finity. Oh, Sylvia, are you still there? Oh, let me get you a word card. If I didn't get a word card for you, let me know. Yours, Elsie, is renewal. And this is about heart. This is about, like we were talking about, that path. You're still on the same person. You still have all the same feelings. But you have to remember that this, if you always stay in your heart space, you will always have a sense of renewal, an act or purpose of making like new, repetition. We were talking about that. Riding that wave. Just keep doing it. Keep going with those feelings. Okay, Sylvia. Oh, Sylvia, we're getting the word wild, and that's heart chakra energy. So let's see where that goes. Wild. Exciting. Not inhibited or cultivated. Inhospitable. Oh, okay. And the King of Cups. Interesting. So I think what's going on is you're getting comfortable with being secure in the way you feel and the way you see the world. It's working for you. And like whether it's considered wild or untamed or unconventional, you realize that you're very solid in this. And this is very interesting because he's in a business suit, right? And then the word is wild. It's very contradictory. And they're both, so cups are energy, are like emotions and stuff. So wild can be talking about emotions. So you might not appear as wild or as raw, um um like if you were a planet, you would look very appealing, very orderly to any inhabitant that would want to go there. But when they got there, they would realize that the outside was not meeting the inside, that there was something much deeper, something more organic below this more placid exterior. Like your shell does not necessarily match your internal world. Like your heart is very strong, very wild. Oh, wow. That's awesome, Sylvia. Let's see. Oh, wow. Yeah, 6 of Wands. And see, this is like, again, these people are in suits, but the wands are talking about fire. They're talking about this success, this strong, everlasting, because there's the little wreaths talk about the world. So you have like so much going on within you, but you may not look like it at all. People are like, wait, what? They meet you, they interact with you, and they're like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. Like, why are you not acting like I thought you would? And that's your beauty. That is your talent. That is your special ability. That is your superpower. Not adhering to people's ideas of who you are. You really throw them off balance. It's pretty funny. And keep that wild spirit going. Okay, let's see. I'm going to get you one more card, Sylvia. Oh, when you said dragons, huh? Okay, I'm going to go for this one then. Riding the wave. Woohoo, I agree. Thank you. Well, if it resonates to anyone, I mean, I go on people's readings all the time and I'm like, oh yeah, I can totally get into that. Because I think when we're on similar frequencies, we all resonate with the same message. Yes. Okay, look, reclaim your energy. And 42. 42 is a very important number. Pay attention to that number. It's going to keep coming up, and if you see it, it does mean something. This is purple energy. That's your crown chakra. And since that came up, I'm going to do a little crown chakra. So cover your ears if you don't like noise. Okay. Ooh, that was very loud. I don't think my dog liked that. So that higher pitch, that higher resonance, that higher tone is because as we go up our chakra system, it's an energy center. So when you're really low in your root and stuff, you need deeper tones. That's just the way it is. The frequencies are different, just like any system. So reclaim your energy. This is really important. Like, see, I'm talking about the chakras. Like people want your energy. So when you call it back, when you reclaim that wild energy, when people come into your space expecting one thing and you give them something else, they put a judgment, they put energy that's depressive on you. And therefore you got to reclaim it. They're like, nope, that's not mine. So making sure that you are in your own energy and not adhering to other people's. Keep that wild heart going and really focus on your crown. Like heart to crown. Like really focus on those right now, because you're going to get information in and energy in, and you're going to create more with your heart. Yes, I would definitely do some meditations. Look, I was so anti-meditation, and then I was just like, okay, I can't focus enough. Like I want to do all these things. And so I started doing meditation. It was painful. I just like literally sat there and I was like, I want to open my eyes. I want to scream. My back hurts. My neck hurts. All of a sudden, every issue I could possibly think of was coming up. I was thirsty. I was tired. I was this, I was that. And I just made myself keep my eyes closed. And I learned tolerance. It's, doing energy work is getting your chakras in alignment is hard work. That's why yoga is not easy. It's not some like relaxing thing where where you're just like, oh, hey, I'm gonna like do a nice leisurely yoga. It's like, oh my gosh, it takes energy, it takes endurance, and that's the same with meditation. But once you get your meditation practice down, it becomes easier. The effort isn't there because you're not resisting. Nothing takes energy. It's your resistance that's causing it to cause that friction. So I'm a convert. Believe me, I spent a long time, many decades, going. I think it's ridiculous. Why would I do that? Until one day my world was like, because if you don't, you can't move forward. And I was like, okay, then let's do it. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it has been a while daydreaming. Yeah, life has been putting me through my own journey. I had to really go through like the entire tarot journey of, starting at the Fool and going through the Magician, all the cards. And I think it was really important to do that. The energy really shifted for me around January 12th, 13th. I had a massive weird stuff happen. And then I was just like, okay, I've got to focus and I've got to get rid of some energies in my life that are causing me to feel dampened. Okay, so hi, Allie. Okay, so who was next? Like, let's do the honor system. Is there somebody that's been in the chat for a while that I haven't read your energy? Because you're showing up as the Magician. Who are you? We were just talking about the Magician. So who is next? Oh, the Space Cowboy. Okay, Space Cowboy. You are showing up as the Magician and the Nine of Cups. Look at how similar these cards are. Like, this person is conjuring, but it's different energy. You have here fire and information and stuff like that. It's like creation, alchemizing. And then the Nine of Cups here is you are actually using it in so many different areas. So you were talking about, you wanted to know whether people think you're attractive, right? Is that what you were asking? Well, I think what you're picking up on is there's something attractive, very attractive about you. And I think people don't understand that. It's not just about how you look. I know a lot of very, very, very attractive people. And I'm like, hey, I don't see it, because their energy is just so toxic that their physical looks leave me feeling like I don't see what everybody is getting so excited about. And then I'll meet people and people will be like, wow, you think that person's attractive or appealing and you just seem to want to spend time around them. And I'm like, yeah, don't you see it? They're so magnetic. They just have these ideas. You can just feel it. And so that might be, you may be physically attractive, but there is something about you that is alluring. It draws people to you. Your energy creates more energy. And so people are drawn to that energy. They want to be part of it. It's intoxicating. See, it looks like almost like these things that are going out from your energy. So it's kind of like a beacon. Some people don't even realize how appealing they are just biologically, and it's not something they're like, it's nothing you can pinpoint, but they draw you to them. There's something about just who they are, their energy, their smell, their I should say scent instead. The way they speak, it or just being around them, that energy is very, you're always creating more energy. So that draws people to you. Be careful with that though, because whether it's physical looks or something about you, people are drawn to that, but that means good and bad. And so that's when making sure your energy is in alignment is really important, because then you only want to pull the people that are actually, good for you. Just because a lot of people are drawn to you does not mean that they, like, think about that. Like, that moths come around lights all the time. It doesn't mean that they're actually a great moth, like, really be discerning. Yeah, when you're high vibe and your looks don't matter. No, like, really, people don't understand that. It is really something that we cannot see. Like I was saying, I've met very, very attractive people, and people will tell me they are attractive. I literally can't see that, because to me, they are an amalgamation, a collection of their energy. And so I see their energy. I've always been like that. I like see one person, I'm like, wow, I just love them so much. It's amazing. And people are like, oh, okay. I wouldn't even give that person the time of day. And I'm like, oh, I don't know why you don't see what I see. Okay. So let's see. Let's see if I get any more cards for you. I mean, you literally got the Magician and the Nine of Cups. I mean, there's amazing cards. But I can get another card, see what it is, and the Two of Cups. So yes, people are drawn towards you. Like here, this man in the boat, this mermaid, I mean, like a divine creature, is like, oh, hello. And I mean, she's a mermaid. She could literally, she's special. But there's something about you. So be very discerning. Be very discerning that who comes up to you isn't necessarily for you. Just because we draw attention does not mean that that attention is something that we should give attention to. Be polite and just say, next. Don't be blind to the draw you have, though, with the Eight of Wands here. Don't be like, oh, like second guessing it. If you're noticing a consistent pattern, you don't need to prove anything. You just need to accept it. And then when you accept it, then you will like remove your own blindfold. So because you have to be very discerning. Oh, and then you get the Fool. So see, yeah, like you're choosing to see yourself fully as who you are. You are, you don't need a mermaid coming up to you. You can go on land or water. Like that's, you have that ability, that adaptation. I mean, that's one thing when people realize they actually don't need anyone. They need no one. You do not need anyone. What you want to want someone. You want somebody to come in your life and they're like, I really just like you and I want to be around you. If they need you, then it's dependence, it's codependence. If it's both of you, if it's want, that is desire, that adds fuel, that creates more. You don't want to always be the one giving to people without them giving back to you. Yes, you have an addictive energy. Exactly. And so when you have that addictive energy, you have to be careful because people will try to use you as a drug. And that's not healthy for you because it's not actually giving anything back. You may mistake the attention, the initial attention, as giving something to you, but for them it's transactional because they're trying to give you something at the beginning so that you will give them this amazing energy you have. Oh, do you want a word card? Let's see. Let's give you a word card. Oh, that's funny. You got vibration. You ended up getting 2 word cards. You got vibration and energy. So yes, you have a certain vibration. You have a certain energy, and it is very attractive to people. So be discerning, be wise. It can be used to heal, but they might be trying to use your energy to heal themselves. And we don't need to be anybody's medicine. So So use your intuition. Okay. Who was next? You met a man with a boat? Oh my gosh. That's awesome. Well, be careful. Don't get on a boat with anybody you don't really have a good feeling about. Because, yeah, boats can, that's dangerous. Yeah. I remember I was dating this guy. It was right after I was married for a long, long time. And he was like, he really wanted to take me on a sailboat. And I was just like, everything in me was like, no. And I was so glad that I went with, he didn't end up doing anything to me, but I was just like, I do not want to be on a boat with this person. Finity, let's see. Let's see what your word is, Finity. Ooh. Okay. Chaos and wisdom. Okay. Very interesting combination. So what I see here is you're taking all that's going on, the chaos of your life, and you're actually transmuting it into your wisdom. You're like standing in the middle of a storm. And this is what I envision, like this storm of the swirl of this kind of colored dirt around you. It's not touching you. And you're standing in the center of it in this chaos, and you're seeing everything going around, but you're able to be still in that moment, to be really in your crown energy and see the wisdom of all that's going on. And that is incredible. That's not something most people can do. Okay, let's see what your cards say. Yeah, it was a cool visual. Oh, and the first card to come out is the devil energy. Wait, am I allowed to? Yeah, she's covered up. So chaos. So yes, you're in the middle of, you know, I mean, aren't we all right now? But you are standing there in the middle of this storm, in the middle of this chaotic devil energy, which is, you know, our vices, our things that are coming from the outside to tempt us. And you're standing there and you're like, I've been through enough. I've been through enough to see the wheat through from the chaff. I think that's what it's. So basically the nugget of information and all this, it's going really fast. It's going, you know, coming at you, and you're standing there right in the middle of this storm. And I'm sorry, just getting a really strong visual. And you're just like almost like it's just freezing in purple, you know, symbols of all the wisdom that you're getting from this. Oh, we're getting this a lot. The Eight of Swords. Yeah, what I see in this one, I really like this. This is a different Eight of Swords card. So see how the moon is here, and that's the unseen emotions, feelings, and stuff like that. And here's the information, the wisdom, and it's a reflection. And then she's levitating. So she's following her instincts. She's following her wisdom. And like I was talking about, being in the middle of that storm and seeing the wisdom in that. Like, this isn't just 8 swords. This is 16 swords. So that's a lot of information. That's not about endings, because you're also reflecting on them. You're not just seeing them as analytical. You're seeing them deep within the well of who you are, the emotions. These are very, very interesting, like this chaos and this devil energy and this wisdom and this Eight of Swords. Like, really, like, wow, this is what's going on externally. You know, it's probably going on for all of us, but you're handling it in such a faith-based way. Like, you're just in your own bubble. It's hard to explain. Like, I really am just seeing a storm around you. Okay, let's see if there's anything more. Yay, I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, oh, if you guys haven't already, could you guys please like, subscribe, comment, share, do it, all those things, because it helps it helps us get out there. And I like doing this. It's really fun interacting with you guys. So, oh, I like this. So again, we got this. So here's the pentacle. Like, think about this. This is the Queen of Pentacles. It's usually a very good card. But what I'm getting here is that having that pentacle on the sacral is connecting. Oh, thank you so much. Is connecting, the monetary, the worldly things, the devil energy, into who we are. And so you're not doing that. You're like, no, I'm going to stay in the truth. I'm going to stay in my crown chakra energy, and I'm going to follow my own path. And that is incredible. I love this. I just see this, you're not following down a rabbit hole. You are literally staying, and you're looking around, and you're being present, but not present in the 3D, present within with that faith. Okay. And so you got wisdom and chaos. Very interesting. Yeah, I mean, that's one thing that we all have the power to do. I was responding to daydreaming. We have the power to not respond, not react externally. That is our only power. Things are going to come at us. That devil energy is going to come at us. Chaos is going to come at us. And if we pause and then decide whether we even want to respond, even want to react, do you want to give of your energy? You do not have to. There is no situation that you have to. I have children, and sometimes they even say my closed off game is great, because they'll be screaming, getting all mad at me, and I will just be like, and there's no energy coming out. There's no interaction, and that scares them more than anything. I have taken care of a lot of kids, and I've noticed that if you just are like, I'm not giving, it's not like ignoring them. It's literally just closing your energy to interacting with that energy. And it's not like you're ignoring them or depriving them of anything except your energy, which you do not owe anyone. Okay, so who was next? You're welcome. Okay, Burton, let's get yours. I like that it's green. That's nice. And so let's see, Burton. Okay, I'm gonna get you a word. And the words of today are, just in case you weren't here, creation, patience, virtue. And remember, my life is a mirror. Like, literally, guys, your life is mirroring what you see in your internal world. If you don't like it, it is literally because you are seeing that. You can only manifest things out in the world or even see them if you believe they're possible. Yes, the people in my life are really mirrors of me. This affords me the opportunity to grow and change. I know that sounds hokey. I mean, that's the problem. Like, all this stuff sounds so cliche, and it is, because it just transcends time. If it didn't actually resonate throughout time, it wouldn't be cliche. So we have to take the wisdom, we have to take what the nugget of information is and go, yes, it's a Hallmark card. But before Hallmark cards, there were just people saying these things over and over to convey a feeling, an event. So if I could come up with something amazing to say about this energy instead of the same old tried and true, great, but it's tried and true because it is. Okay, let's see. Wow, the word, okay. Identity. Okay. So you got identity. Okay, Burton Brothers. Let's see. Burton Bros. Wow. So you got, oh, that's interesting. So I just thought you got the Ace of Swords. So we're talking about identity. And if you look at this is very interesting, because this is kind of like your identity. This sword is who you are. It is the what you identify as. It's air energy. So our identity is actually a construct we come up with. This is who I am. And then other people add to that. What I'm seeing here is, because this just, I didn't know this was behind the Ace of Swords. The Five of Swords is coming out. Somebody is impacting the way people are seeing your identity. So you need to make sure that you're very strong in knowing what you and who you are, so that when somebody comes along and says something that does not match up with who you are, you don't need to argue with them. You just need to stand taller and know that that's not your energy. That's, like people don't even realize it. It's like you don't have to go up to somebody and say, hey, that's not who I am, or get into an argument with them. You just need to know that's not true. And once you know that's not true, it doesn't resonate anymore. People can hear it. I mean, really try it. Try just lying about something weird, like change, a word, or change a color, the day of the week it was, what time of the day it was. When you're recounting something, you will hear that it does not sound right. It does not resonate with the same frequency as the rest of the statement. And that's how you can tell if people are lying, honestly. They may be lying about something innocuous about themselves, but they are lying. And so that rings differently, that sounds differently, it feels differently. And we know that because we're animals. And animals know when somebody's deceiving them. We just, as human beings, second guess ourselves. Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. So this is interesting. You got the Nine of Wands on top of that. And the Nine of Wands is about being really like, I'm here. I've been through it all. Look, she's got a bandage on her head. She's kind of scraped up. It was a lot of work to get here, but now you've planted your stakes. So you're really putting those stakes in the ground. This is who I am. I will, like, literally, these are my morals. These are my virtues. Oh my gosh, we were talking about that. Virtue. That was one of the words of the day. These are your virtues. You will die on this hill. Before you will compromise or let anyone knock these down. And that's your identity. Because no matter what they say, see, this is the 10 of Swords, but in this deck there's 2, and this is the everything is fine card. So, and she's looking at a cell phone. So no matter what people say about you, or they try to tarnish your reputation or who you are, as long as you know who you are, your identity, you really feel it, you don't need to fight them. You just need to stand firm in that. No matter what they do, everything will be fine. So yeah, wow, that was interesting. Okay, who else? Oh, you wanted thoughts on Democrats and BBC? Oh, well, oh my gosh, that's so funny, because I was going to I have this shirt, and I should have worn it, because I was like, I thought this might come up. It's a Sesame Street shirt, and it says, raised on the street. And I think that's really important. Like, the attack is not on this channel or that channel, not on this, issue or that issue. It's on empathy. It's on learning. Sesame Street is a vital, important part of kids learning. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, Reading Rainbow, all these things. The children that were exposed to those actually had higher abilities to read, critical thinking. So when they knock stuff down at our very basis of being engaged, empathetic, finding, like when they get people to stop having empathy or stop caring or just scroll through like it's just another day, they have won, because they're asking us to compromise our virtues by doing that. So it's a brilliant plan to get rid of, education and communication and more objective reporting about things, because I think people don't understand. It's not like BBC, PBS, all of those do not just do political reporting. That's a very minor thing. They do on science, they do it on social issues, they do it on psychology, they do it on education, about connection. Like they're doing stories on why people are so lonely. And like this is loneliness is a huge, that's our actual pandemic, that's our epidemic. And so by limiting those stories, people then will be in a vacuum of thinking they are truly alone when they aren't. This is something that's created to keep us in our chaos so that we don't ever venture out of that. Therefore, look to the people that are causing the problems and go, wait, if you weren't causing problems, the world would be a wonderful place. If you guys all just stopped causing problems in our lives, stop with the drama, like get a hobby. Um, go help somebody. I mean, if you have enough time to hurt somebody, you had plenty of time to help them. So I pulled the Queen of Swords and the Eight of Swords yesterday. Oh, wow. What a coincidence. Like that energy is really coming up for you. So the truth is really important right now. So like be unapologetic. With the Queen of Swords though, I do remember telling you, still have, the Queen of Swords has tact. It has a softness. The King of Swords doesn't. It's kind of really blunt. It's like, hey, this is the way it is. Take it. You're like, why are you getting all upset? This is just facts. The Queen of Swords has a much softer. So you're using your instincts with the Eight of Swords. Because I can also see that as like looking within, like all this information's around you with the swords, and you're still like going within with the blindfold. It reminds me of Star Wars, where he has the blindfold on Dagobah with Yoda. And like that goes back to there is no try, do, or I don't know the quote. Maybe if Speak So Well's here, he knows the quote. Okay, who is next? Oh, okay, KT you asked, right? Okay, I'm gonna do KTs. Let's see. Do you have a question, KT, or did you just want a general reading? Just a general? Okay. So, KT, I got the Magician, and I was getting lots of cards, so I was just taking a look at them when I was doing this. And the Hermit's at the bottom. This is really cool. Okay, so what I see is going on with you is you've gone within, and that you've realized how powerful you are, because whether we realize it or not, that staff right there can be considered a wand too. And here's the white stag. So that's bringing an internal, a introspection of knowledge, of wisdom, and you're using that to manifest out in the world as the Magician. You're becoming like your own fairy godmother. Like you've gone within, really harnessed your power. You're connecting with spirit guides and the higher realms. You're connecting with something that you can't necessarily see or even define, but it's there and it's guiding you, and it's always been within you. And you're using that power to alchemize. You're bringing that into the 3D world. You're creating something, and I just really love, because this is like the fairy godmother. It's really great energy. And when I was shuffling, this is the card that kept coming up. This is the Ace of Wands. So I think you're working on something. You're creating something. This could be something you're writing. It could be a painting. What else? What else am I getting? Let's see. Oh, wow. And this is in between here. So you got the Ace of Wands and then the Ace of Coins. Well, whatever it is, whatever you're creating, it's like, see, this is like the magic bean, and then it's making the the beanstalk. So whatever you're creating, so you're creating something here with your passion, it's created right there. It becomes the Ace of Pentacles, the seed. And once you plant that seed and you do your little magic on it, it grows into the beanstalk. And we know the beanstalk had the golden goose, the all this wealth. Like he found more wealth than he could possibly imagine. So very fairy tale like energy from you. I love reading rainbow. Do or do not. There is no try. Yes. Oh, love reading. Oh, okay. That has a different feeling. Okay. So seeing this, like, okay, just take a look at this image. Whether you're male or female, just think about the relationship here. We've got this and this. That, to me, could lead, so be careful. If you get involved with somebody, I don't know your age, but there could be something that grows. So be aware of that. That's a possibility. Like, love. Oh, fairy godmother. So going from just being alone as a hermit to getting ready for the ball. And yes, you might meet somebody. And when you do, just be aware that it will be passionate and it will flower. So I'm making some innuendos here. So just be aware. Wow, you guys, you got 3 ace of, sorry about that. So yes, there's a lot of imagery here. The same sort of image. So yeah, there are some sexual energy here. So just be aware of that. That from that can come growth, can come from, something can grow from that. So just be aware that if you get involved in a relationship, yeah, it might result in something growing. Or you're just going to have such great connection that you both, that it like creates a tower for you guys because you realize, you know, you haven't known this much passion since ever. So it'll change your lives. Okay, let me get a word card for you. I'm actually going to get one of these. And if you guys haven't already, could you please hit that like, subscribe, comment, do all that fun stuff. Okay, and there's a secret. So this person you're going to meet, there is a secret, or you guys are going to have to keep your relationship kind of undercover, kind of like need to know basis. And let's get your word. The word of the day is, let's see, daydreaming. To me. Okay. Okay. You got quick. This is like I was talking about. A lot of sexual energy. So enjoy yourself. Yeah. It's some good energy. I don't know anything about this person because they showed up in a cloak. So it's hidden from me. Thank you, Allie. Okay, Allie, were you here before daydreaming? I just want to make sure that I'm getting to people in the that have been responding. Now I'm gonna choke. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna do just a second. Sorry about that. Okay. Yes, thank you, Allie. Okay, daydreaming. We're gonna do your reading once I can talk. And let's see, I have not used a lot of my cards daydreaming. And then I will do Allie. Daydreaming, we got battle. Maybe it's a dance battle, I'm hoping. To me, this looks like the Five of Wands. You know, like how people like to cause issues and stuff to distract you, to get your attention. You almost choked on water. Oh, it's super fun, huh? Oh, this is great. So because you're showing up as the anomaly, and so they're causing problems because they're like, oh, hey, you're different. You're not like us. And you're like, you're damn right. I'm definitely the anomaly. And embrace that. That's great. Because, sorry, still choking. Being the anomaly has helped you survive. It is really the key to your survival. And whatever, you know, it's also 47 here. I won't go into what's going on in the world to do with number 47, but you know, being who you are has actually kept you safe, has helped you survive. And no matter what kind of shade and drama people try to bring into your life, you're above that because it doesn't even resonate. That's one thing people don't realize when you're an anomaly. It's not that you're trying to be different. You just are different. You resonate different. You may even look the same, but you are not the same. And people are like, why are you being different? Or why are you not fitting in? It's like, because I literally don't. And that is a good thing. Like, you stand out from the crowd. And doing that will cause you to get a lot of attention. But because of the way you are, it also helps with your survival. Okay. Ooh. Four of Cups. Yeah, you're like, oh, I love this Four of Cups because on our sweatshirt it says over it. And it's like, you're like, oh my gosh, I just, you know, I have had it with people's drama. I do stick out, and that makes me special, not a problem. So when you least expect it, some opportunity, some love offering, some friendship is going to come along. And then you're going to realize that instead of your back being up against a wall, it was actually the road. See, that looks like the yellow brick road. So when you see this from a different perspective, when you see that you're special and that you're not like the other birds, you're going to realize that you don't even see the world like that, and that the walls that other people see are actually a path for you. Yeah, I'll be okay. I'm still breathing, so that's a good thing. And then Temperance. Yeah, I mean, like, take what we were just talking about, that everybody was talking about. You don't have to react. So, like, really take in what people say. Oh, that's, you know, everybody has an opinion, don't they? Like, but, you know, you're an anomaly, so you don't fit in with them. So, therefore, any opinion they have is uneducated, is unbalanced. So don't pay attention to that. Like, really start seeing the world for the way you see it. You'll see your path. It looks like it's something that's in your way, but it's actually the way forward. Let's see. And then, oh, you got the everything is fine card too. So a lot of people are getting that. It's like I mean, the fact that you're here asking for energy readings, willing to do the work, means that you are an anomaly, because most people don't want to do the work. They want to look down at their phone. They want to tune in and tune out anything else. Even if they have 10 swords in their back, they're like, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. And you're like, no, you're not fine. And like look up from your survival mode and see that the path is right in front of you. Okay, let's see. So, Allie, you were next, right? And JD, I'll do yours after Allie. Wow, that was the worst I've choked in a while. It's amazing how what keeps us alive, you know, drinking water and stuff, can also be what ends up ending us. We have to be very careful. Everything we do has a consequence. Okay. Oh, nice, Allie. You're showing up as the Queen of Cups. She looks awesome. She looks like a land mermaid, like with that dress and stuff like that. And she's just standing there, smooth sailing. It's a really great card. I like the energy. She's got her pearls on. Okay. Okay. And then here's the Five of Cups. These are very different energies. Because see, here she's holding the cup. She's standing in the water. She's actually larger than the rest of the picture, which is saying that she's standing out. And so, and there's a very similar dress right here, right? Like if she were to fold herself down and sit, that's how she would look. And what I'm seeing here is you really are someone special. You are someone who stands out, who like can literally stand there and take up the entire scene. But when you're feeling down, you shrink and you compress yourself, and then you don't see the opportunities that are right there. You're focusing and you're creating you're folding yourself into yourself to keep yourself safe. But what you're not seeing is actually you're making yourself very small. And that's hard not to do when it feels scared. So and heartbroken. But maybe, maybe take get a picture, find a picture that you look at and you're like, wow, I looked amazing. Like you just felt amazing, looked amazing. And I want you to actually get it physically printed up. And every time you're feeling like this, I want you to look at that picture and go, oh, this is who I really am. And no matter how I'm feeling in the moment, that is a feeling that exists within me. It has not changed who I am. Okay. Hey, Bradley. Hey, there's all sorts of people. It's very nice to see you. The Knight of Swords. Yeah, look at it. Like when you're on top of your game, you're like on a griffin, like sailing through, giving truth. But when people hear the truth, they want to knock you down. They want you to go from this to this. So don't do the work for them. Like really, if you're an artist, paint a picture of yourself. If you're not, like I said, get a picture printed up. Even if you just have a printer, just print it up. Just have an image of yourself and just be like, this is me. No matter what I'm going through, the truth is this is always me. Oh, wow. Yeah. Justice for the Tower. Yeah. When you really take control of that energy, when you really feel it, like the world has a way of just balancing out. It has a way of justice coming, and it has a way of knocking down the towers. Like really look at how statuesque these people are. And that's causing a tower. That will cause time to change. That will cause the very structures of your life to change when you stand up, when you decide to never turn that sword on yourself, but only wield it with the truth. Like you will not knock yourself down. I mean, she literally looks like she's been cut down. So don't do that to yourself. Like let the other people's towers fall rather than knocking yourself down. I mean, yeah, your energy is too amazing for that. And if you have to, get away from them. Like if people are talking to you like that or putting that energy in your life, remove yourself from it. You don't have to stay in an environment that does not work for you. Let your environment work for you. Let your energy work for you and just you. That's not selfishness. That's, as soon as someone makes you feel small, they have now not become a part of your life. No matter if you stay with them, no matter if you have them in your life, they are no longer a part of your growth. Because if we're not growing in life, we're actually, dying. And so anybody, if they meant to hurt you, or if they just didn't take care with your feelings. If they ever made you feel like this, they shouldn't be in your life. There's other options, even if it's just yourself. Oh yeah, exactly. There are virtues, right? Right? Because if we stick to our virtues, we create the mirror of our life that we want with the creation here. Like, be patient with yourself. Like, if you wouldn't say something to someone else, I mean, I'm really serious. Like, if you would not say that to another person because you're a good person, you should not say it to yourself, because it does make you feel this big. Okay, let's see what your word is. Service. Yeah, you may have felt like your entire life was to serve other people, give all that energy to others. And I'm saying, no, screw that, screw convention. Like, we are not here to fill other people up or continue cycles. Like, break these cycles. These are generational cycles. These are keeping you stuck, keeping you small, keeping you in a place where you're not letting your light, your true light show. Yes, exactly. Exactly, Allie. Okay. Wait, I said who was next? Who was next was JD. Yes. Okay, JD. Let's see what your energy says. I'm going to get a... Okay, that popped out quick. Stories. Well, that's pretty much what we're doing right now. But this is an interesting thing, because this is showing a story is not just something we tell. It's interwoven with our experiences. It's interwoven with our generational experiences. It's integrated. Like, a story encapsulates so much of who we are, and we tell stories about who we are. So our viewpoint, our story will always be from our experiences. So we want to make sure that the people around us and our experiences are high vibrational, so that our story can be more high vibrational. So let's see. Okay, you won't believe this. Virtue. Like, this is the Three of Wands. This is making a decision and going forward on it. Like, I love this because, like, this weaving together. See how this person is weaving that together, and this is woven together. And it's virtue again. Oh my gosh, we just keep getting virtue. So yes, our who we are is creating the tapestry of our lives. And that is actually not scary. It is amazing, because if you truly believe that you at any point can be like, oh, I made a mistake way down here. Yes, it's going to take me a lot, but I'm not just going to keep creating this weaving this together with a mistake all the way down there. You're going to go back and you're going to unweave all this. You're like, okay, I got to take this apart. Yes, that's the reality of it. But then you're going to fix and correct where it deviated from your true life's path. And when you do that, then you can actually have a very strong story. You can have the story that you truly want. But it does take work. It does take work to unravel ourselves from these entanglements, these mistakes we've made along the way. We cannot continue. I don't know if you've ever made a friendship bracelet. I'm not going to assume you did. But I did make them when I was a kid, and sometimes I would make a mistake all the way back. Or you're knitting a sweater, or God, what else? Even writing a paper. We've all written papers in school, and if you made a mistake at a certain point and you have to redo the entire essay, you wouldn't just be like, oh well, I'm just gonna keep writing. There's a huge error here, because the entire paper wouldn't be working well. Your friendship bracelet would be unraveled. If you were making a sweater, it just wouldn't work. It would become dysfunctional. And so that's kind of what's going on in your energy. It's like, okay, hey, make sure that you're staying true to your virtues. Hi, Miss Jenny. I haven't seen you in a while. It's nice to see you. Thank you, Allie. Oh, nice. Princess of Swords. And I don't know what that relates to, maybe the Page of Swords. But this is really great because what I see here is kind of like, it looks like a container that's being dumped out and going forward with the knowledge. And to me, what that is saying is, like, we're like, okay, this didn't work. Like, it's time to move forward from a strong foundation, not continuing on a path that has mistakes in it, that has errors. But people don't want you to do that. Look, you got the 10 of wands, and it's like, where's the swords? Well, it's oppression. I'm not sure in this deck which is which. Let me look. I think this is swords. So the 10 of swords, it's like oppression. They want to keep you stopping from doing this. Look, this person is, you know, using the sword to move forward, to like say exactly how they see their life, exactly how they see their self. And they are willing to fight for their virtues. And that's you. You're willing to fight for your true story. And you're going to come up against people that don't like that. That's okay. You can actually take these resistance and just be like, okay, and I'm going the other way. You know, use a keto to go around with the energy and not go up against it. Because the more you go up against oppressive energy directly, it'll get stronger. And so if you go around and you're like, nope, this is who I am, this is how I'm going to live, I'm not going to even respond to you or give you energy, that actually takes away their power. Okay. So who was, oh, I'll get you a word. Wait, somebody already got purpose. Wander. Okay, exactly. So sometimes we don't know the mistake we made. So we have to wander along our path and go, oh, okay, here's something that shouldn't be there. And that's where we're looking to make sure that our virtues match our life path. Okay. Is there, you would like a career reading, Miss Jenny? Is there anyone who's been here? I just want to make sure that anyone who's been here for a while that has been chatting. I know Speak Soa was here. So, I don't know how to say your name. Seante has been here for a while. Bradley Brown, Nancy, Margaret. Let's see. So are any of those people, or has anybody that's been here? Oh, you're welcome. I'm so glad it helped. Is there anyone that's been here for a while that would like a reading? I'm just waiting for you. Oh, hey, Cristobal. Just waiting for you guys. Who's going to volunteer, or who was next? Nobody's talking. Okay. Let me just get an energy card and see what's going on. Sure, you can ask a second question, Burton. What is it? Okay, Bradley, you would like a reading? Okay, I'll do yours. So yeah, Burton, whenever you want to ask your question, I'll try to answer it. Okay, Bradley. So Bradley, what I'm getting for you is, to start off, which is 21, Phoenix, Fire of Transformation. We've been talking a lot about transformation today and making sure that we are creating, see, we got the creation card. We're creating through our virtues and being very patient. Like, it's not supposed to happen in your time. It's supposed to happen in the most and highest benefit time for everyone. So be willing to rise up again and again. You will be successful. And that's what this is about. Like, creation takes a lot of work. Sometimes we crash and burn. Sometimes we try to create something and it just falls apart. And that's important to remember, that we need to keep, you know, rising back up. It made me a lot. That's where the patience comes from. Like when you have your eye on what you're truly trying to create with, the virtues of who you are, it's kind of like your commandments. Whatever those commandments are, you're etching those in stone. It's like there is no way to erase. There is no way except if you break them. And when you break them, that's a pretty big thing, to break your own commandments. And so that's what I see the virtues as. It's like we got the Nine of Wands earlier, and that Nine of Wands was about standing on that hill and being like, this is something that this is who I am. And so you getting creation, and the Phoenix is talking about, yes, you may have to burn everything to the ground. Not literally, guys, remember, be safe out there. But burn everything about your life and who people have told you are. Burn it all so that you can rise from the ashes, truly in your strength to create something. Okay, let's see. Okay, I haven't used these. I've gotten much better at this. Now I have tons of decks set up. Okay, the Hermit. I really like this because, like, as the Phoenix, you have to rise alone, right? You cannot rise out of the ashes with someone else. It can't be like, oh, okay, yeah. I mean, they'd be burnt up. I mean, like, it's your own metamorphosis. So you have to go through it yourself. And the Hermit is showing up as that. You are following your divine light. See the divine light, creation light. So you have gone within and you have, set ablaze to anything and everything that did not resonate at your core. Nothing could come with you. I mean, he's always in a cloak, he has a staff, and it's just him and his lantern. That is pretty much every hermit card that exists. And so this is about you are on your own divine path, and no one can go with you. No one can hold that light because that is truly yours. And instead of seeing it as lonely, seeing it as an adventure. Oh, to me, that's so cool. I didn't notice that. To me, it looks like the Super Mario Brothers star, where you're like leveling up. Here you found the star in at the end of the level, and you're leveling up. Lovers. And what I see here about the lovers is that this is that energy. See, there's a lot of symmetry here. See, we have the wings and the pole. Here's the wings and the same imagery, and here is the source. So you are combining your masculine and feminine energies. You are rising from the ashes as a complete being, one that has their own commandments, one that it follows their divine light. And it's leading to creation. This is a beautiful energy. Like, way to go. It's not an easy path, though. People act like it's like, hasn't anybody seen like what it takes to be the Phoenix? Oh my gosh, it's not an easy job. This is like literally like blowing up, burning everything to the ground, and then rising from nothing. Like having that level of faith that if you burn everything down just to its core virtues, its purest form of who you are, that are you going to survive? You have to have faith that you're going to survive, because that's how it happens. Divine timing, yes. Okay, so who was next? I just want to make sure. No, it's not easy at all. Like, that's why people, oh, wow. And, oh, I didn't get a word card for you, did I? Oh, yes, I got creation. And at the bottom of the deck, the tower popped out again. So I find that really, like, burn it to the ground. Yeah, like it's time to let it go, because you have to emerge as the Phoenix. So if you guys have never done it, a really great thing to do is make your own virtue list. Like, this is who I am. This is how I feel about life. This is how I feel about kindness. This is, I mean, just like whatever it is for you. I mean, like, I can't think right now of a list, but it's a virtue list. Like, this is who I am, and these are things that I'm putting in stone. I'm making a contract to myself that I will not violate these. And like, if you have to do something like, people are always talking about like, what about that person who stole bread or something? I'm like, are you serious? Come on. It's about intention. It's not about like nitpicking here, guys. I mean, we figured that out in like, Berenstein Bears books. I mean, it's just like there's wrong and right. It is contingent on the intent behind it. If people are starving, hey, maybe, the people in power are causing them to be so desperate that they have to commit crimes. Oh gosh, yeah, I think so many human beings are viruses. Like, I think the human condition itself is a parasitic organism. It goes in, it can consumes. I mean, like think about that. Like, people are always asking me, like, well, why don't you win the lottery if you know you can see the future? And I'm like, because I don't need to win the lottery. So, like, I don't need that. I don't need all that stuff. I need to be comfortable. I need to be happy. I need basics. And when we consume more than we need, we are being parasitic with our environment. When we just have to have more and more and more without actually seeing the impact of our, having too much creates rot. Like, people don't realize that if you have too much food, you get rotten food. If you have too much stuff, your house can become a hoarding, thing. It's just, we do not need as much as we are consuming. And so that can actually hinder our growth. So when we put our own virtue list together and we go, no, this is something I'm choosing. This is who I am. These are my principles. And no matter what happens, I won't violate those. And as long as we stay on that path, it's not easy, because we often see that we're diverging from other people's paths because their virtue lists are so different. I think people don't even realize. They assume, well, if I'm a good person and I think this and this, that somebody must have the same values as me. And that's where the issue comes, because not everybody questions their values. Not everybody questions whether what they're doing is for the highest and greatest good. It just feels better. It feels easier. Yes, everything in moderation. Exactly. So who was, oh, okay. I have not, you've been here for a while. Seante, Seante. You've been interacting, and I'd like to read your energy if you'd like that. I never want to read anybody's energy if they do not want that. I mean, like, that's kind of an invasion. Like, that's why I'm always like, if you want me to read your energy, please ask. I will try to do it, but I'm not just going to come up to people and be like, you know what? You actually have, you have this health problem. I interact with people all the time. And that's actually my strongest gift, is being able to pinpoint where people have injuries, illnesses, and what they can do. The problem is, most people don't want to know. They would rather, they get quite upset at me for telling them what's wrong with them. Like, people don't want to hear it. So I love you guys coming here, because you guys are asking. You guys really want to know, and you want to grow, and that's beautiful. So, okay. I am now doing Seante Rustin's reading, and I got farm. This is about our agricultural work, livestock rearing. But what I get from that is a farm goes with the flow of light and dark. Like, people get up with the sunrise, and they go to bed when it's dark. And so the cycle of growth and creation, like we keep talking about creation, that cycle is a natural one. If we try to just if you had a whole bunch of farmers who are like, I'm a night owl, I'm not doing that, we'd have a serious problem, because you have to go with the flow of the energy. Hi, Betty. Okay, let's see. Let's get you some tarot cards and clarify farm. Defeat. Okay, so yes, if we're not going with the flow of energy, we're not going to have success. I mean, we can all try to be different and this and that, but there's certain laws of nature, certain laws of human nature that we have to understand that if we are in balance with them, we will have success. And if we're not, we won't. You can't grow something in the middle of the night just because that's when you want to be awake. That just doesn't work. But you could also, you could, um, if you were in flow with that energy, you would know, like, okay, the cows got up. We better get up because those cows need to be milked. It's painful for them. So staying in balance with our environment, staying in balance with our energy is also contingent on whether your environment is toxic or not. Because in order to be in symbiosis with a toxic environment, you have to become toxic. But you actually can stay very healthy even in a toxic environment. You can constantly be aware that this is not normal. And if you tell yourself, it's like, if you don't ever accept that it's normal, it may be something you have to survive. It may be something that you have to deal with, that you have to adapt to, but always keeping in the forefront of your mind that it's not symbiotic, that it's not in stasis. I mean, not stasis, symbiosis. And then the Chariot. So yes, so if we go with someone else's energy and it's not in flow, if it's moving too fast, that can also be, like, so let's see here. I'm just going to give an example because we were talking about a farm. We're talking about animals. If someone's coming at you with a whole bunch of ideas and they're just talking at you and talking and talking and talking, and you have no idea what they're saying, but they won't slow down, and they're just like bringing all this energy, and it's going against how you work and how you function, it's okay. Think of it as someone playing a really loud radio and they won't turn it down, and you can't turn it down. You're somewhere you can't turn it down. So start thinking of it like that, and you can create a bubble. Like, you don't have to actually interact with what the person's saying. You don't have to interact with what they're doing. You can actually choose to kind of encapsulate yourself into a, like, okay, this is something that I cannot control, just like, the cycles of the farm. But what I can do is stay within myself. I can stay centered. Like, see, stay centered. All of these are pointing to the center. And nobody has a right to be in your own mind space. So, yeah. Neutral. Exactly. That's what I was trying to explain. Stay neutral. Like, it's just like, okay, I'm getting annoyed. I mean, hey, if you have kids, I'm sure you've been there, even been around children. It's just like they're screaming and they're talking at you and stuff. And if you stay neutral, if you don't exert your energy, it actually diffuses the situation. It brings it back to a neutral ground. And just like a farm, if your soil is too acidic, if your soil is too, full of all these different things, if it doesn't have a neutral pH, you can't grow anything. So keeping in that mindset will be really helpful. You're on a farm? No way. Okay, that's hilarious. That is hilarious. I love when that happens. Every so often, I'm like, I'll say something to somebody and they'll be like, what? Oh, that is hilarious. Wow. That is amazing. That is amazing. I just think that's hilarious. So yes, just keep things neutral. Like, whatever comes up, just keep a very neutral tone, keep a very neutral mindset. Hi, Robert. And focus on being neutral and then coming from that place. Like, if you get neutrality first, it makes interacting with people a lot easier. Just because somebody wants to move really quickly doesn't mean you have to. You can literally, if somebody's like, I need an answer, or I need you to do this, you can be like, okay, I just need a moment and then I'll get back to you. You don't not have to give an answer just because someone's demanding it. Thank you. Thank you, Robert. That's awesome. I'm glad you guys are here. Okay. I'm going to do, let's see. Oh, I've been on for almost 2 hours. I didn't even know. It's been fun. So I'm going to do a few more people because I think there's, let's see. I'm going to go back to the beginning. I don't know if Speak So Well is still here, or Nancy, or let's see, or Miss Jenny, or did I give you a reading already? And if not, I will give you a reading, Robert, if you want one. Are any of those people that have been here for a while, would you guys like a reading? Oh, I haven't given you a reading, Miss Jenny? Okay, I'll do yours next. And anybody else who has been here, let me know. I saw Speak So Well earlier. If he wants a reading, or Mandyland, or any of the people that have been here for a while. Okay, Miss Jenny. Games, number 4. So well, it's 40, but it's 4 and 0. So I kind of like this because 4 is like the foundation and 0 is like the fool. So this is asking you to kind of, I don't know, if you sing, start belting it out. If you don't sing, if you're just like, maybe try. Like, I feel like you need to use your voice and you need to bring it forward from your heart, because something needs to be expressed. It needs to be fun. Like, I used to be a preschool teacher and a nanny. And so the only songs that half the time that I could even remember the words to were nursery rhymes, Lori Berkner songs, and all sorts of like songs for musicals and stuff, because that's what I was singing all day. And so, but I started making my own words, because you sing the same nursery rhymes enough time to these kids, you're like, okay, I'm bored. So having fun, like really feeling your energy. You do it for fun. Okay, I'm telling you, belt it out. Really have fun with it. Start creating songs. Just enjoy your voice. Feel the resonance of your voice. Like, really, like, look at this frog. It is like, it's got its mouth wide open, and it is just, because frogs, sometimes they'll get that big bubble when they're holding the air in. This frog is pulling it all out. This frog's eyes are closed. It's feeling it. So let's see what else. Let's get a word for you. I'm so glad. You're a kindergarten aide? Oh, that's awesome. I love children. Like, if I could spend all my time around kids, I would totally do that. I have not been in the field for a while, and I miss it every day. Like, being around kids is one of my favorite things. They're just so real. Like, they haven't been told they can't do things, and they haven't been limited, and they still believe in magic. And I think that helps everyone to believe in magic. Oh, wow, this came out earlier. Absolute. Yeah. Free from imperfection, perfect. Free or relatively free from mixture, pure. So that's interesting. Yeah, I wouldn't have picked absolute to describe this, but really embodying that feeling of pure joy. Like, when you're singing, I want it to be something, when I'm saying that, even if it's just sounds, it's the joy, it's the resonance, the purity of our voices when they are just expressing joy. It's something that's beautiful. Even if you can't sing. Oh, thank you so much. That was very kind of you. Yeah, like, just keep singing. That's beautiful. I have never, so I'm not a great singer, but when I first had my first child, they were constantly telling me how much they loved my singing. And I was just like, I looked at them, okay, like, cause I was just like, I'm not a good singer. I have a nice voice for talking, but Singing, not my strongest suit, but I used to sing a lot when I was a kid. So I sang to my child, sang to my baby over and over and over again. Then I had my second child. My second child has some autistic traits, and it was like, don't sing. It's awful. And I was just like, okay. I mean, that's just, and now that they've gotten older, they're not as sensitive. So they like me to sing to them. But when it's coming from a pure place, it is it's like a gift to people. You know, I think by the time I had my second child too, I often doubted myself a lot more. I had been in classrooms a lot more and had to sing in front of children, so you can't get all self-conscious. And so I was kind of out of practice, and I realized that was coming through in my voice, because as I gained my voice back in its purity, its absoluteness, my child was more responsive to it. And that's the great thing about autistic kids. They can really tell you the truth. They're not going to be like, you know, save your feelings. And I like that. I think that honesty is so beautiful. They're so high vibrant. I mean, yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing. If you don't like kids, kind of like, I mean, hey, look, they're difficult to deal with. They're kind of gross. I mean, anybody who's been around kids knows how gross they are. But they're incredible. So your energy is showing up as absolute, the King of Wands, and this frog belting this out, games. So what I see here is like just this, I think of vodka, you know, absolute vodka is, but it's like an alcohol, like narrowed down, burned off all the impurities. You are just the pure heart of this. And so that when you speak, it needs to feel that way. Like, don't speak unless you're coming from that place of absolute authenticity, because everyone will be able to tell, because your voice is your power. So really harness that, feel it. If you don't feel like talking to someone, don't, because your voice is powerful. Your voice is your absolute. I mean, this is the only black card I've ever gotten in here. It's the, you know, the absence of color. It's, you don't need to mix it with anything. It is pure. It is true. You don't have to candy coat it. You don't have to do any of that. Speak your truth. Okay, I think I'm just going to do a few more because I'm getting tired. Speak so well. Did you want one? I've seen you a few times, but not seen much of you. Also, there's Betty Boop, Miss, let's see. Is there anyone who would like a reading before I go? And if not, that's great. We've had a great 2 hours together. It's been really nice. And, you know, I'm not exhausted yet, so I can definitely come back on tomorrow. So Betty, okay. Okay, let's see, Betty. I'm going to get a, let's see. I haven't used these, so let's use these. Actually, I think you need, Betty, you need one of these cards. I now have too many decks in front of me. No workspace. Okay. Hey, Betty, let's do this. You guys are really wonderful. I'm really glad you're here. I feel really grateful for this collective. And if you guys haven't already, I wanted you to say hi to, hey, Roxy. Roxy. Hello. There's Roxy. She's always in here. She's just usually sitting there. You what? Oh, you're being a pick-me. Okay. So, Betty, you got Internal Explorer. I mean, look at her. Look at like how amazing that is. It's like this core of wisdom, and then the life, the flower of life on your crown, and this hair that's almost coming off like, I don't know if you've ever seen, it's called a phantom jellyfish. And it has a part like this, and then these long tendrils that come down, and they could be huge. The biggest phantom jellyfish, I think, is as big as a small bus. when it spreads all out. So it's beautiful though. So you might want to look that up. That might mean something to you, because the internal explorer, this is like being in the ocean. So, you are very, you're showing up in the energy of being very mystical, you're on some kind of internal journey right now. And I keep getting animals, and at the bottom here it says furred or feathered friends. And so, yeah, that might be a connection. I'm getting a lot of animals. I'm getting a lot of sea animals as well as on the land, but a lot of sea animals. So there's a deep connection. This is deep within the ocean. So there's some deep place that you are going within yourself, within your emotions, that you are feeling out, that you are going with the flow. You are really going within. Let's see, which card should I use for you? Oh, well, we're getting C. Let's use the mermaid deck. You just got a new puppy? Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. Look, there's a little doggy right there. That's so cool. Okay, so yeah, you are connected to furry friends right now. It's probably making you feel emotions. It's bringing, oh, that's what it is. So your new furry friend is bringing up these beautiful feelings that you have not felt in a long time. It's deep within the ocean of your love, like, and you're feeling something that you haven't felt in quite a while. That's amazing. Puppies do that all the time, don't they? So you got the Three of Pentacles, and the Three of Pentacles is about working together. So yes, you have this new furry friend. You're starting a new life. And people don't realize how amazing that is. Like, animals are beings. And so when we have relationships with them, they can feel just as impactful, just as incredible. I mean, when I was a kid, I had pets that I loved more than most people, you know, and I was like, this is a good being. And so that's bringing you back to what's important in life. And we keep getting frogs. Here's a little fairy frog. So like really like coming from that, because frogs are green, that heart space, and then bringing that into the world, speaking that, like express that love for your little doggy. Yay, that's so exciting. I haven't had a puppy in Roxy. I adopted when she was 6. Hey, Roxy. Hi. You gonna say hi to everybody? Roxy. No, she's like, I'm sleeping. She's 10, so she's, you know, she gets tired. But I haven't had a puppy since 2018. And now he's much older. But yeah, it's, oh, the trials and tribulations, the accidents. My puppy chewed the handles right off a hand-carved dresser and would do all sorts of things. And I was like, oh my gosh, it takes so much energy. So your whole world, like I was talking about, you're creating a new life, a new world. And this is like changing the way you're feeling about things. This is like the ocean too. It's that building of everything together. Like this little puppy has really brought light to your world. See, oh, right here. See, here's the light streaming down with your furry or feathered friends. And that's 27, 32, 21, and 3. Okay, so I'm going to get you a word. Oh, 4 pounds found in a field. Oh, it's perfect for you. You needed, it's like maybe you were needing something. I mean, like I see this, like I was talking about the jellyfish reaching out. You were like, I need something. This is the first card that came out. So it was like, you were searching, you sent out a call to the universe and said, I need. And this little puppy was out there going, I need. And your two needs came together. See this, here's the light and then the light. They came together to create that life together. See, these are the same flowers. And that created a different world. You guys needed each other. Like That's such a beautiful thing. Think about the miraculous nature of that. When we call out to the universe and say, I need something, I need this feeling, I need closeness, I need love, and all of a sudden it shows up in our lives. That is true belief. That is true beauty. Compassion. See, you sent out into the universe this compassionate plea, and it brought this little puppy into your life. Like, imagine what else you can bring into your life. Like, when you have true intentions, when you're calling for something that beautiful and that genuine, imagine what else you can bring into your life. Okay, who oh, speak so well. You're next, right? Are you here? Speak so, oh, you are. Okay, you had a question. Here, I'll go back up to it. I'm starting a business and want some insight into, am I going down the right direction? So let's see. Okay. So how are you doing, Speak So Well? You're welcome, Betty. I love seeing you on here too, because I love Betty Boop. So I just got a Felix the cat, because that was actually my first cat's name. And so I love cartoons from around that time. I'm doing okay, a little tired. When I hit the 2-hour mark, I always get really tired. Actually, let's get some energy in here. Okay, I'm gonna do our crown chakra bowl. So cover your ears if you're sensitive. I like it. 4-pound puppy, you're right. See, I love those signs and synchronicities. 4 has been coming up over and over and over again. 4 is a very powerful number. You have the 4 corners. You have the 4 pinnacles of anyway, you know what I mean? Like, it's that solid energy. And I was talking about the emperor having that solid foundation. The 4 of Wands talks about our literal foundation or celebration. So that's beautiful. Yay. Okay, let's get into financial space. Let's get this. Okay, the first card you're getting is number 9. So this is the year of 9. So, and it's communication. And this is all water. Communication is water. So if you want a business to be successful, if you want to go down the right thing, you have to make sure you're communicating. So your lines of communication with different networking is very important right now. And also looking for any openings, any opening opportunities to communicate. Because see, here's the windows open and this crow comes in to get out of the rain, but is actually drinking from the cup. So that's very interesting. So like making sure that you're not ignoring any signs that are going on for you, that come into your life, that are like steering you in the direction. If you see an open door, an open window, take that as an opportunity. If you're out in public, if someone says something to you, take that opportunity. Maybe they're trying to tell you something. Maybe they're trying to give you a business lead. Maybe they're trying to give you a connection that the universe has brought in for you. But you have to be willing and open to that communication. Thrive. So like looking for partnership, more, when you're out in the world and all of a sudden you just, some random stranger comes up to you and you're like, oh, I don't really feel like talking to anyone. But you actually take that opportunity, that time, and you make a connection. You learn something that sets you in the right direction, that actually gives you a leg up. That's kind of what I mean. I mean, each moment, seeing that as an opportunity. If you see an open window, an open door, to even communicate with someone, to get out of the deluge of our own thinking and feeling, and then get a respite from that and to get clarity and focus. Because sometimes talking to other people can really give us focus and clarity on what's going around us, and that we can't get when we're in our full, thinking about it ourselves on our own. Interesting. I had an interaction with somebody and we had a robust conversation and found out we had much in common. Well, that's great. Yeah. He talked a lot, but was full of good knowledge and perspective. Yeah, and so if you had, like, think about it this way. If we're feeling, starting a business can be scary. And starting a business can be really overwhelming, like being in a rainstorm, right? It's very hard to see the clarity, the focus of what's going on while we're in the middle of being poured on. So when we take a step in to take a break from that and instead focus on communication, on listening to others, we'll actually gain more than actually speaking. Because I see the rain kind of like letting our emotions go, letting our emotions out, speaking and having this rain of communication even within our own heads. And then when we take the time to focus on what we actually want, the other person, when you focus on someone else and you're like not trying to say anything and you're not trying to come up with things, but you're just curious about what they're saying, you'll actually see a lot. That's why kids are so great. You can't just talk over them. You have to really listen to them. And they give us nuggets of information. It's not that they're the only ones that are brilliant. It's just that we listen to them without interrupting them, without trying to prove them wrong. So let's see what else you said. Oh, that's great. Pouring water on your feet by sitting on the cement and pouring water. Oh, wow. That sounds like a really good idea, Francesca. I might try that. Oh, that just happened this morning? Wow, that's really cool. They don't cost anything. If you want to make sure you like, subscribe and stuff like that. But if you want to give a donation, you can. I'm probably going to be getting off after this. Oh, and then so you got the 5 of Wands, and this just kind of flipped out everywhere. It was like going topsy-turvy. And what I see here is there's a lot of conflict. And this is kind of unnecessary. It should, you're going to always be in a place of conflict. And see with the rain here, a lot of emotion, feeling overwhelmed by emotion, feeling overwhelmed by external conflicts. They're not real. When we take a step back and really communicate even with ourselves clearly, if we tell ourselves, hey, it's time to be quiet, it's time to be still, it's time to be present even within ourselves, that practice really focuses us, and then we can see clearly. Like if you put water, if you're just looking at the rain, it's beautiful, right? But you can't really see what's in the water. But if you put the water in the bowl and you look at it, you can actually see your reflection. And that's part of that, communicating with yourself, reflecting on who and what you want. What do you want out of this business? Have you communicated with yourself about what you want to create, how you want it to feel, how you want your life to be? Because the business is only an aspect of your life. It has to be in concert. It has to be in synchronicity with your life. And so have you even spoken to yourself, communicated with yourself in a clear, calm way? Ask yourself questions and be silent and let yourself respond naturally. It's a really hard thing to do, but it's definitely worth it. And what I see here with the Fool, thank you, Speak So Well. What I see here with the Fool coming out after this conflict and the rain here, is that once you finally quiet your mind, once you are finally able to ask yourself the questions that you're asking me, when you're quiet and you really reflect on it and let yourself answer naturally, you will know the right direction to go. We have to trust ourselves. And the hermit. Okay, come on, the fool and the hermit. The hermit is about going within. It's about closing the outside. Okay, like yeah, like you might be looking for the answers. You might be researching and researching, not realizing that the answers are within yourself. And that's powerful. Like that's not a scary thing because that means you are the wisest person you could consult. And when you consult your true higher self, that will give you a clear answer. So let me get your word for the day. And our words for the day for the room are creation, and we're talking about creating business, right? Your virtue. What is your manifesto? What is your commandments for your business? Like, do you written that down? Do you know which direction you're going? Wanting to act without preparation causes you a lot of setbacks in the long run. And so remembering that making a business, doing all these things takes patience. You have to work with the universe because your opportunity may have not come in yet. You may need to have certain things in a row. You may need to have certain things in order for these things to come into your life. Like you have to, if you build it, they will come, but you have to actually build it. You have to have it be very strong. And we keep talking about the four corners, like a baseball diamond. It's very important that each corner, each foundational corner is extremely solid, is extremely, you've looked at it, you've been honest about it, you have consulted with yourself. And I think you'll have the answer because I think you already do. So let's get your word. Oh, the words. Oh, this is an awesome. Okay, because I love words. The deck. Let's see. This is called. Where's the box? I don't have the box. I'll try to put it on the community page. But this is the Dictionary Diviner deck, and I actually got it on Etsy. Well, it was actually a gift because I really, really wanted it. I was like, I want a deck that is just words because they're so powerful. And this person did it. They have all these different colors. They have to correspond with the chakras and the energy. And then they have a little book on top of it. So on top of having the definitions here, they have in the book, they have even more. And it goes into examples. And so you can do a whole meditation on the word. It's really cool. Okay, so let's speak so well. Let's see what your word is. This is a huge deck, though. It's very pretty. See, it's got this really cool silver iridescence. And there's a lot of cards. I think there's 111 or 105. So it's a little more expensive, but it's like the equivalent to like a few decks. So this is interesting. 3 popped out, so I'm just going to tell you them. Cycle, and that's come out earlier. Find, life. So you have to figure out by going within yourself what your cycle is, what your natural resonance is. With the green here, that's like that's your heart chakra energy, and finding it is your truth. Blue, your throat chakra. And then here, your life. This is who you are. You're not just starting a business. You are actually starting something that could manifest into your life's purpose. Really give your heart a joyful, you'll be living in your truth. And so you just have to make sure that you actually have it down, that you've made your virtue list. Like if you haven't made your virtue list, you need to take the time to do that. And that's going to create a very strong creation. But just my opinion. Okay. Does word cost something? Oh no, the deck. It's just it was a gift, and the deck was a little more expensive than a lot of my other decks, but it's also a very specialized deck. So Oh, thank you, Betty Boop. I really appreciate it. Yeah, mission statement. Sure, whatever. Yeah, like, I mean, the thing is, just because we don't necessarily like the person's religious or political things, Tom Cruise is a very successful person, and very driven and has very high ideals. So, take what you like from whoever's out there and leave the rest. There's a lot of really good people that have a lot to say, and then they do things or have parts of their character that are not great and are quite awful, but you can still take something from that experience. Like, don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. Like, there was this guy, a motivational speaker, huge guy. So I'll just say that. I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to get shadow banned or whatever they do on these things. But he really had a lot of great things to say, and then it came out that he did some really horrible things. That still doesn't take away that some of the advice he gave, some of the things he said were very valuable. I wouldn't go continue to watch him because I don't want to give him support, but it doesn't take away from the value that was there. So take what you like and leave the rest. Oh, well, I will, okay. Money Star. I'm going to do one more person, and you've been here talking and stuff like that. Oh, I don't know what here. Okay. Just give me a second. I'm going to get up and, look. Okay, so it's called the Diviner Definitions Oracle, 111 card dictionary oracle deck, and it's by Dr. Michael, what's his name? Dr. Michael Anthony. And I love this deck. Like I said, it comes in this really cool box. It's all different colors and stuff. It's pretty. And it comes with all these cards. There's a lot of them. See how big this deck is? And then it comes with this great little book, and each page has further examples and definitions of those words. So it has, I do a whole meditation practice on these words. On Etsy, yeah. It was, yeah. You know who actually got me that? Was Speak So Well. Because Speak So Well knows I really like words, and I wasn't going to buy it for myself because it was quite expensive, and it was a beautiful gift. So we can thank Speak So Well for that deck. So, and we're going to end it with this: manifest. This is the word that's coming up, and that's where we all are right now. When we do our mission statement, our virtue statement, our commandments, we can manifest from a very solid point because we have the scaffolding, we have the foundation. The number 4, the foundation is coming back up. And so once we have that takes patience. You've got to really work on that. In order to create, you have to take the time to get your foundation very strong. Once your foundation is very strong, you can build anything. So I really love you guys. She speaks so well. Well, you do like words, right? So I love you guys so much, and I really appreciate you guys joining me, and I will try to get on again soon. I'll post some shorter videos, but I'm really trying to take a break from all the editing and all that stuff because it kind of takes away from what I'm doing. So I like coming on live because then I'm just here, right? And you guys are there, and that's great. And I love you guys so much. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Mwah.